afternoon, Outliers. How are y'all doing today? Happy Wednesday, happy hump day, as we like to say. Hope you're having a fantastic day. We had a meeting, an internal meeting today. Talked about a lot of stuff. The scanner is coming. Mahesh just said it might be 2 to 3 weeks out at this point, but we're working on it. We're actively working on it. We do have some upgrades to the homepage and the sign-up flow that are coming soon. And probably I'll mention this in a little bit, but Mahesh said something on the Discord that I was like, dude, we weren't supposed to talk about that. So if you haven't already seen the Discord, now might be a time to go and take a look at it before it gets brought down. I am absolutely trying to I was just like, Mahesh, we weren't going to do that, and he just outright did. So he can do what he wants to do, I suppose. But did you see the news? All right, let's take a look at the news real quick. Disgusting. That statement alone should disqualify Harris, says Homan. Let's listen to this real quick.
Shows that under the Biden administration, only 4.4% of the 9.6 million migrants encountered at the border were deported. Tom Homan joins me now. Tom.
Okay. I'm going to really try not to get myself in trouble.
Why is the administration...
I actually know an ICE officer, and we've had this discussion before. So he's a scout dad, and he would tell me about these trips that he would take. He's like, oh, I'm going to Venezuela. Oh, I'm going to Honduras. Oh, I'm going to Uruguay. I'm going from this place to that place. And I'd always joke with him and be like, oh, so you're going on vacation? Where are you going on vacation this week? And he's like, I'm not going anywhere. Like, oh, okay. He's like, we're not sending anybody home. What do you mean? He's like, we stopped sending people home. And I was like, so you're not deporting anybody anymore? And he said, no. He said, the morale at the ICE offices is the lowest he's ever seen. They're basically telling him he's not allowed to do the job that he was hired to do. This whole agency was put up in a way to, immigrations and custom enforcement, and they can't do anything. They literally have their hands tied behind their backs by the Biden administration saying, you cannot deport people. And he's like, I don't know what to do. We're just twiddling our thumbs all day. We're not allowed to go and do our jobs. So, yeah, hopefully nobody can figure out who it is, but it is a show, right? It is a shit show right now. That is for dang sure. Peter, good to see you. Randy, FOMC Nothing Burger. We'll talk about that in just a minute. Jean-Louis here. Let's take a look at
deporting
this.
So few illegal migrants.
Because they've abolished the ICE mission. I mean, I've said from day one, all this talk about abolishing ICE, I said they'll never abolish the federal law enforcement agency. They'll abolish the mission. They'll starve them of money. And that's exactly what the Biden administration has done. ICE cannot enforce the law the way they're supposed to. A lot of criminal aliens are now off the...
Okay, so I've not actually watched this yet. I like to watch these cold and give my honest reactions. But yeah, he is saying what I have heard firsthand from ICE agents. Hey, Brian.
Table. They can't even go look for him. Secretary Mayorkas said being in the country legally is not enough for ICE to go seek out and arrest. And they starve them with money. They don't have the beds. They don't have the operational expenses. So they've abolished the mission of ICE under this administration.
Real damage has been done. Kamala Harris, she's trying to cover up her record on the border. But back in 2018, then Senator Harris compared ICE agents to KKK. I know you're going to respond to this, but look at it first. Roll tape.
The Klan was what we would call today a domestic terrorist group.
Why would we call them a domestic terrorist group?
Because they tried to use fear and force to change political environment.
Are you aware of the perception of many about how the power and the discretion at ICE is being used to enforce the laws? And do you see any parallels?
I do not see any parallels between
I'm talking about perception.
Officers and agents.
I'm talking about perception.
I do not see a parallel between what is constitutionally mandated as it relates to enforcing the law.
All right, Tom, have at it. What's your reaction?
Oh, that's interesting. And that goes way back when. That's way before woke, right? 2018. Wokeness really started in 2020. Wow. I'm honestly disgruntled and disheartened and a little bit sick to hear that she would call, agents of the law legitimately the people doing their job to protect you and I on our borders, a name like that, I don't even want to utter it.
Well, first of all, Ron Patel is a personal friend of mine. He was the one that replaced me when I retired, so he did a great job there. Kamala Harris, disgusting. It upsets me. Out of all the things I've heard and seen in my 34 years of serving my country is this, because I've handed a folding flag to moms and wives and children of fallen agents who gave the ultimate sacrifice for this country. Agents and officers of ICE who died in the line of duty. This is a stain on their service to the country and the way they died, and it's a stain to the families who will live the rest of their lives not without their dad or their husband. And it's disgusting on all levels. And look, I've testified once, and Wasserman Schultz, Congressman Wasserman Schultz, said I was a bigot in open testimony. And I'll tell you the same thing I told her. If ICE officers are racist for enforcing the immigration law, what's that make members of Congress? They wrote them all. Our president signed them all. ICE isn't making this stuff up. ICE is doing their constitutional duty to enforce immigration law. And Kamala Harris needs to be reminded that during the Trump administration, where she's attacking Ron Patel, 9 out of 10 people that we arrested at ICE under my command was either a convicted criminal or pending criminal charges. So we prioritize the worst of the worst. ICE officers do a great job every day. They put a gun on their hip, they wear a Kevlar vest, and put it on the line for this country to protect the American communities. Shame on her, and she can't walk that back. That statement alone should disqualify her from being the commander-in-chief.
Ooh, he is all kinds of wired up there. Hey, Randy, good to see you. Yeah, like these ICE agents, like I have the utmost respect for them, right? It's not like they're the military. And yet at the same time, they have to do some incredibly dangerous things every single day just to put food on the table. And yeah, like Randy's saying, she's beyond woke. It's just, makes me sick. But let's see real quick. Randy says she's about as effective as a border czar as the Secret Service head. Well said, Randy. But changing topics real quick. Everybody needs toothpaste. Everybody needs toothpaste, right? Doesn't matter who you are. And Colgate-Palmolive is what I want to chat about today. Colgate-Palmolive actually just got a buy signal a couple days ago. On July, today. Colgate-Palmolive got a buy signal today. Now, this is one we traded not all that long ago. I made a little bit of money on. And, looking at the performance summary here, 48% in OVTLYR. So you know what? This is hard for me to not go down the route of sounding like a complete idiot. Trying to tie this to the ICE agents here. But, Colgate-Palmolive does lots of other stuff besides just toothpaste. And of course, you know what? If you're looking for an opportunity in your portfolio, especially in a volatile market like this, maybe Colgate-Palmolive is for you. Let's take a look at our market analysis. All right. Still clicking buttons here. There we go. Welcome to the OVTLYR Trading Room. This is smart trading made simple. Save time, make money, start winning with less risk. And that's what I like to call profit hacking. Now, we're going to be covering the strategy I put together in the Profit Hacking Playbook. You can get a free copy of that over at profithackingplaybook.com. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Christopher Uhl. I've twice been awarded Top 100 People in Finance. I've been successfully trading since 2009. I'm a partner with OVTLYR, and this is my style of trading using OVTLYR. Now, what I like to call is the golden ticket trading strategy. It's where it's the 8 steps to turn profit hacking into pure gold. And the master key to unlock the golden ticket trading strategy is this right here. The buy signal or the SPY, the buy or sell signal, the market breadth, how that looks, as well as the sector breadth for any individual stocks that we look at. Now, we've been out of the market since July 19th, and let's review why. The main reason that got me out of the market was the market breadth had peaked and then came back in. Market breadth is the amount of stocks, in this case, that are given a buy signal. So if the amount of breadth has peaked, if the amount of breadth has grown so much, all that's left is for sellers to come through. And that's exactly what we saw happen. My dad actually had texted me this morning saying, hey, what's been happening since Kamala Harris has been, put as the next nominee? And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, well, have stocks gone up or gone down? And I was like, well, I got out of everything when stocks had peaked. I said, and you can go back and watch the live streams. I'm not making it up. I was like, we're hitting extremes. I think it's time to take some money off the table. And that's exactly what happened. The market had peaked and then started coming back down on July 19th. No, the 18th was the day I got out. That was the day I got out. And we've been, basically moving down ever since that point. So right now, the market breadth is coming back down, meaning less and less stocks are having are showing up on the buy list. In fact, today, if you look at the bull list, there's only 11 new stocks with buy signals today versus 41 new stocks with sell signals. And that makes total sense, right? When you run out of buyers, all that's left is sellers. So we have bearish market breadth at the moment, whereas the SPY signal is still showing a buy signal on in outlier right now. So I could imagine at any point that that's going to change over to a sell signal. But then again, I'm not going to fight the data, right? The data is telling us a buy signal. So I'm going to sit and wait it out. And on a day like today, right? I'm not even looking at sector breadth on individual stocks. I'm looking at the market breadth, which is bearish, the SPY signal, which is bullish. So we don't have an agreement in our signals here. And I wanted to pull this out. It's been a while since I brought it out, but Mark Minervini, one of my mentors, he says, my 6 key trading rules. Number 1, wait in cash for proper setups. How long? As long as it takes. And listen, I recently made a change once I was doing all the back testing and ran the data and saw that, you know what? I'm actually going to trade a lot less because this master key has given me crazy win rates. And all you have to do is just sit and wait for the trades to come to you. So for me, I don't have any trades I'm going to put on today, but there are still tons and tons of stocks out there that might be for you. In fact, I took a look at some of these stocks that came through on the buy list today. We've got FTAI. I don't know what this is, but it's an aviation stock. And it had a performance summary of 333%. I thought that was pretty cool. That was a buy signal today. And then HWM, also an aerospace stock, showing outlier returns of 144.94%. So some really tremendous stocks out there in the industrial sector right now. But Randy had mentioned the Fed meeting today. FOMC keeps rates steady. And the market, I mean, this morning, the market was on a real tear. It's still up 1.5% or so. The Qs, the NASDAQ is up 2.5%. These are big moves right here, right? But it's still a bearish trend. You still got the 10 under the 20. On the Qs, we are under the 50 right now, so very bearish. On the SPY, we have the 10 under the 20, but with price coming back over those two, you might see that reversal back up. So honestly, right now is a no-go zone, right? When the trend is still trying to figure out which direction it's going, the best trade to make is cash. So be sure to be holding that cash. And I mentioned this earlier. Mahesh had dropped this in the Discord, and I was like, dude, I thought we weren't talking about this. But since he did, I'm going to go ahead and mention it, right? You can actually get Outlier for the year for $299, right? Today, right now, OVT 2024 as a discount code. Usually it's $69 a month. And this applies if you already have a monthly account, you can transfer over to an annual account using code OVT 2024. And basically you're going to get Outlier for about $25 a year, which is ridiculously cheap. I'm kind of irritated that he mentioned that. You weren't supposed to do that, Mahesh. And so here we are. So anyway, thank you so much for coming to today's Outlier Trading Room. I'll see you right back here tomorrow. Have a fantastic afternoon, and we'll talk soon.